What's happening, YouTube? You're in the building with the Life Gain Avengers of Current Culture. It's me. It's the living legend, Larry. And ladies and gentlemen, this might be a special show. Larry is in rare form. I'm not going to try to corral him. I'm going to let him go and do what he want to do, with the exception of we getting out of here at 9:45 because tonight is undoubtedly the finale of Snowfall. And we're going to talk a little bit about Snowfall. We've got just a very sad and crazy political story dealing with crazy ass Florida, crazy ass sheriff in Florida, and the crazy ass governor of Florida. Then we'll end on a positive financial note, just talking about this marketplace and what's going on with stocks. But Larry, before we get going, I want to shout out my people right here. If you need any Snowfall gear, this is the place you get it. It's available at thehyperparadise.com. Use the promo code LifeGains and you get 10% discount. And you also get free shipping anywhere you go. I've used this individual before. Stuff usually hits my door in 3 days. They've got a whole lot of gear. And I'm going to be pushing this because the finale of Snowfall is tonight. We will be up here, me, Larry, another YouTube channel, J-Mo, and the usual divas that join us tomorrow night. So it's going to be a live show. And I heard we might see Leon. Somebody told me Leon might want to come on the show with us tomorrow, Larry. Can we get Leon on the show?
Yeah, man, that would be dope.
So, yeah, if I can get Leon up in here, ladies and gentlemen, he can answer all your questions about motors and things like that and what's going on the show. So let's kick this thing off, my people, and let's go ahead and get the politics out the way because that's usually what gets your blood pressure up. So Larry sent me this story, and I'm just like, man, it can't get no. I mean, we're 1 day away from dropping a pebble in the ocean. And what do I mean? Derek Chauvin was convicted. And I wasn't excited about it because you shouldn't be excited about people doing what is right. He was on videotape murdering a man. So I couldn't get excited about that. And so then Larry decides he wants to ruin my day as I'm looking at stocks by sending me this bull jive right here from Florida. And we'll break this down when we get back. My people in Florida, y'all got to do better. Take a look at this crap.
It's not playing.
You can compare and contrast. Look at Seattle, Portland, Minneapolis. That's no way to treat the community. That's no way to treat those that have put their entire life into building their business. We saw folks' businesses burn around this nation who literally had worked their entire life and had every penny of their life savings involved. And what our governor said is, that's not happening here. And we're going to be proactive, and we're going to make sure people are safe.
Oh, my Lord, have mercy. But ladies and gentlemen, that's not all his punk ass said. Let me give you some quotes. I do have quotes from that same very press conference. Sheriff said he welcomed transplants to the Sunshine State as long as they vote the right way. Don't register to vote and vote the stupid way you did up north, the Polk County Sheriff says. His comments drew laughter from Governor Ron DeSantis, who just signed the anti-riot bill. Okay, Larry. Last I checked, Larry, ain't rioting supposed to be illegal anyway? Last I checked.
It is, but I haven't seen any riots happening.
No,
the only riot, the last riot that I saw that happened
is the insurrection on the government. Right. So I guess you Florida folks that went and did the insurrection, you better not insurrection no more because he passed this crazy ass bill, and I have more footage for you. Let me show you guys what is in this bill, and then we'll rebuttal how I think about people moving from the north going down to Florida and what we should do in that situation. Boy, you can't make this stuff up, Larry. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, rioting is already supposed to be illegal, but we know in this country the law is not fairly distributed amongst people. Larry, the man insulted people from up north. I mean, you can literally almost bring him up on charges on trying to coerce people on how to vote. Because if you have a person who is sitting in power in that manner, especially when you're black, and he assumes that you're voting for Democrats, he can intimidate you. He can make your life miserable. He can make your life a living hell in Polk County. Now, this bothers me because this is a double-edged sword. Number one, there are so many great talents that overlook Florida because they are a damn red state and they don't use science. Their governor is like on the top of the ticket to be the next Donald Trump and try to run for the White House. He didn't follow any of the CDC guidance during the Trump administration in terms of corona. And now you've got these sheriffs who just diddly-dallying in whatever they want them to do. So you've got great talent that's like, nah, fuck Florida, I'm not going. But at the same time, whenever good people, even-minded people who believe in fact decide not to go to Florida, you make the cesspool of Florida worse. And that's the debate me and my wife had in this house about where are we going to go before Elle starts elementary school. And it's sad that as black people, you have to think, we don't want to go nowhere that's run by a red county, a red state. We don't want to be around that bull job. But at the same time, Larry, I'm torn because unless we get a north to south migration, the South is going to continue to be stuck with idiots like Ron DeSantis, idiots like that sheriff. So I'm stuck at a crossroads, Larry, not really knowing what to tell people other than to, if it fits your family needs and it's the best situation for you, don't let a sheriff intimidate you. Don't let a governor intimidate you. Get down there, do the best you can for your family, and continue to vote and advocate for more and more people to see how these guys don't care about equality. They don't care about that shit. They always tell you, don't dread on me. They always tell you we're fighting for what's right. When at the end of the day, I don't understand how their supporters don't see. They're really the ones who are placating you, who are limiting things you can do, and really don't want you to have your own critical thought process. Having said that, Larry, I give the floor to you on this crazy mess.
Yeah, see, I feel the opposite. I feel like if you're black, if you're Hispanic, if you're Asian, if you're a white ally, if you have money, if you have an education, if you simply have the means to leave, you should leave. There should be an absolute brain and financial drain on that state. There's not enough people out there that could support that state if you pull all of the educated, well-to-do minorities out of that state. There's not enough to support that tax base of that state. It just won't work. And I think they should leave. There should be a brain drain, you know, and a financial drain. Pull all that money out. All those rich people that are out there, all the rich black business people, Hispanic business people, Asian business folks, all those rich athletes and actors, all those people that went and get those nice homes, sell them and leave, move, go somewhere else, you know, go to Atlanta, go to California, go to New York, go to wherever, go someplace else, you know, go to Puerto Rico, you know. I mean, I because I feel like the only way to hit these people again is through violence or finances, and you have to do one or the other. I mean, the stuff that they're doing is insane. You literally have a cop practicing voter intimidation on national television
with the governor.
With the governor right there. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. This dude should be investigated by the FBI, and he should be brought up on charges. I mean, that is absolutely insane. The dude is practicing voter intimidation right there on national television. Just look at who's there with him. There's not a single minority. There's not a single woman. There's nothing but old white men. That's it.
Oh, but Larry,
the governor who's middle-aged.
But they do got black people in the poster with Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'll tell you, here's the thing that's really that bothers me about that bill is they are making it so that they're saying that people will have civil immunity if they run down protesters.
Yes.
And so now think about this. Think
It's
about
about
this.
think about that white kid in Milwaukee.
In Virginia.
No. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's
Think about
another
him.
example.
He killed that white woman
Yes.
that was out there that was counter protesting. How is it the idea that good, hardworking, patriotic Americans can go out and protest neo-Nazis? Nazis, for God's sake. We're not talking about some people who just have differences of opinion. We're talking about Nazis. If you're saying that people who are out there protesting against Nazis can get run over by a car, and that person driving the car can have, civil immunity, is just completely just anti-American. I don't even know. There's no other way to say it. It's completely and utterly anti-American. Now, I know it's not like that in Virginia, but they have it in Florida. It's crazy if you're out there and something happens and people decide to protest, and all of a sudden now someone says, oh, well, I was nervous or I was scared or this or that. And they decide they're going to go ahead and barrel through a crowd of protesters and kill somebody.
Right.
And they're just going to say, well, we're not going to prosecute them because this new law says, well, they were afraid for their life or they were this or that, so they have civil immunity. I mean, we're talking about the same state that has a stand your ground law that allowed George Zimmerman to pursue a 15-year-old child who was carrying nothing but a bag of Skittles and iced tea. He was able to pursue this young boy in the dark, start a fight with him, and then shoot and kill him and get off. I mean, they were talking about this same state. So it's absolutely insane. And what's going to happen when some racist fuck decides, oh, I'm going to barrel through a whole, protest full of Black Lives Matter protesters? What happens when some protesters say, I'm in Florida, I'm a legal gun owner, and this is a stand your ground state, and they unload inside that car and shoot and kill that person? What's going to happen to that person? Are they going to be protected? Or what happens when that person driving through that decides they're going to barrel through the crowd? What happens when they barrel through and they hit a journalist or they hit an EMT, somebody who's not there actually protesting, someone who's actually there working? Are they still going to be protected to say, well, they were barreling through protesters? No, you didn't hit a protester. You hit a working journalist, or you hit a working EMT that was there on the scene that was doing their job. I mean, it's this whole law is so problematic. I don't know if there's already a case. I don't know if there's already cases with this going through the courts to overturn this law, but this just seems like it's something that shouldn't even have to make it to the Supreme Court. It should be something that the lower courts can get a hold of and overturn immediately. It just seems so completely asinine. It's just it's like the white people in this country on the right. It's like they're egging for a fight. It's like we are trying to tell them we don't want to rip this country apart like we did in the Civil War, and they're just simply saying we are going to keep on fucking you over until you decide to fight. It's just like,
you know what the mantra is, Larry, why they let the South keep Confederate flags and all that bull job as like a behind the door, pat you on the back contract by giving slaves freedom. The mantra is the South will rise again. And when the white dude said that to me, I said, what they're going to rise up and do? Get chopped off like bread dough? You're going to rise again and get chopped up again. Like, come on, bruh. Like, Let it go. Let it go. Every other area in our lives, they're teaching us to think critically and progress. But for whatever the reason, it don't hit home with Southerners, white Southerners. For whatever the reason, they want to be stuck in 1960, where women stay home with all the babies cooked in the kitchen, where the men got to go fraternize, do whatever the hell they want to do. And then you come home on Sunday and pretend like you're a heavenly person and go to church and shit. Come on, man.
Right. And here's the thing. Is that when America had the Civil War, we were a relatively young nation, and we didn't have all the extensive, foreign allies that we have now. But when that war kicked off, it was when the North came in, when the United States was fighting the Confederacy, the French came in and fought side by side with us. There were German mercenaries that came through via Canada and came and fought with us. There were a lot of other people that came and fought and gave money and bought bonds. And America nowadays, you try and start a civil war. Do you honestly believe that the whole world would not come to the aid of our side? The rest of the world has dealt with fascism. They've dealt with Nazism. They've dealt with far-right extremists. They don't want that shit anymore.
No, they don't believe it. They don't believe it, my brother. And Larry, let me shout out my super chatter. So, Car Bro, I got you, man. You know how we do. Anytime you need a little inspiration, you need a hookup on this channel, let me know. We appreciate that $10 super chat. And then my folk, Jonathan Soul has hit us, Larry, telling us to keep pushing because, Larry, you do know that with us having a platform, there are a lot of people that would like for us to shut up about politics. Shut up and entertain. That's what they want us to do. And I decided 2 years ago.
I am entertaining you. You are entertained.
No, you giving them information. That's what you give them.
And they're entertained by it.
And I decided 2 years ago, with the help of Larry, that I don't give a damn if I lose subscribers or not. What's right is right. And I'm going to use my platform when these type of bullshit issues come up that affect my people. And if you affect my people, you affect the greater good of the whole nation. And we're going to talk about it. So we're not changing. We're not going nowhere.
We talked about that years ago. We had these extended conversations on the phone. We said, look, we just have to be true to ourselves. You lose one follower, you gain 10 more. And you gain 10 that are there for everything you put out. Not just somebody who comes around for some Cody video or someone who comes around for a stock pick. You get people that come because of you and they stay because of you. So those people that are complaining don't talk politics, be gone. Go somewhere else. I welcome you to leave. You know?
Yep. Oh man, we got another one, man. We got my folk Mike Willie, who is going to allow me. He's going to allow me to use his sentence that he gave me today on the Instagram messages about Snowfall. And Larry, we'll follow this story, but I want to go ahead and get the people in the Snowfall because I know some folks want to get off about 9:30 to get their food and all that stuff together. So my people in Florida, keep your head up, keep fighting for what's right, and keep voting in not just the national elections, not just your state elections, but more importantly, your local elections. You got to vote in those. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a partner on this channel. Shouts out to the big homie who is now doing Snowfall gear. And you can go get your Snowfall gear right there at that website. Link is in description. Use the promo code LifeGames. You get 10% off. And the shipping is always free with this good brother. Larry, I want us to take a look at the trailer. Now, Moochie sent me. They dropped the trailer with 2 minutes of what's going on in the show. She sent it to me. I'm not going to use that. I didn't want to use 2 minutes. I just want to do like 30 seconds. Okay. So we're going to take a look at the trailer that they dropped that's going to cover this coming episode, and then we're going to come back and we're going to react to it, my brother. Here we go.
All right.
Agency won't want to protect him when I'm finished out him.
That man is a trained killer.
You afraid of him?
Of course I am. Aren't you?
Next Wednesday.
You will all burn for this.
I don't respond well to threats.
The Snowfall season finale.
What is going on? Where is your father?
I don't want to kill you, but I will protect what I love.
I feel the exact same way.
Snowfall, the season finale. Next Wednesday at 10 on FX. Next day, FX on Hulu.
Ooh, woo. And ladies and gentlemen, that next day is today. And before we dive into that, let me shout out my brother, William Lawrence. Hey, man, I appreciate you, homie. Y'all hold me down when it was looking bleak, when it looked like everybody was just jumping out the window on this channel, just saying, I don't want to listen to this guy. You guys kept coming through with these super chats that helped get me through, and you continue to do so. I'm very grateful. Larry, this is what my folk Mike Willie had to say. I'm putting it up here, Mike Willie. This is all you, my brother. What's up, my brother? Can't wait for Snowfall tonight. I think 2 of these 3 will die. Sissy, Jerome, and or Leon, or maybe even Alton would kill Aaron Rodgers on Mel. Oh, I meant Teddy. Mike
man.
Willie, I know obviously you saw my trailer breakdown. And yes, I do believe that this whole family is staging everything to set up and take out Teddy. But the question that a lot of people keep saying is, well, what about a plug? What about a plug? What about a plug? I got an answer for you. Gustavo is still working with the CIA. Gustavo still know people. The CIA has not stopped their arms dealing just because they got rid of your boy Teddy. So it wouldn't be that hard because Franklin has a relationship with Gustavo to get him another plug. But my brother Larry, who do you think is going to kick the bucket? My vote is Teddy. I know you hate that because you like Teddy, but I think Teddy up out this piece, Larry.
I'm not sure. And I'll tell you, I have a hard time feeling anything except, don't get me wrong. I don't like what he's doing at all. I hate that he's bringing drugs into the country and into the community. But Teddy has been straight up with everybody he's dealt with. Everyone. And he's told people, he's warned them, this is the way it is. I'm letting you know what you are getting yourselves into, and I'm letting you continuing to let you know what you're dealing with. And people who just don't want to listen to that, they end up suffering the consequences. But so it's hard not to like Teddy in that respect. I somebody was saying they think that that Leon's gonna die, that Scully's gonna kill him. I don't think Leon's gonna die tonight. I don't think he's gonna die. I feel like if they wanted to kill him, they could have already done it in a more dramatic way. Like it would have been more dramatic to have Khadijah kill him. And it really, like after Khadijah died, his daughter's dead. His wife, his girlfriend, his wife, his baby mama, whatever, she's dead. Man boy's dead. He's like the last one standing of that sort of ilk. And so I think when Khadijah died, that sucked the wind out of him. I think he was done. Even before that, when she was up there just running amok, when he said, you need to get that hate out your heart. I think he got it out of his heart already. I think he got it out of his heart, and he's done. I wouldn't be surprised. And I know people probably aren't going to want to hear this, but I would not be surprised if Jerome dies tonight. Because Jerome has started to go down a dark path, and oftentimes that's what happens before someone gets killed.
So you on the boat with Mike Willie? Jerome?
I don't want to be, but I'll put it like this. I'm not saying he's going to die. I'm saying I would not be surprised if he did.
Okay, well, let me shout out all the super chatters. Devry M, let me get this in here for you. One or all these people make a reappearance tonight. The security that quit, Mel, and the cop that got fired. I got you. And I appreciate that super chat, my brother. You know how we get down with those. My folk, Little Rock, born and raised in CT, now living in Miami. He hates DeSantis too. Keep pushing that good fight out there, my folk. And then we had Buzz, $9.99. Hey, I love that price.
703.
And then we got Jay Stokes. Stay black and woke, my people. And we plan on doing that. As long as y'all keep supporting me, we ain't going nowhere. And J Mo in the building, by the way. Be sure to subscribe.
Black mixed with black, and he black.
Yeah, he's super dark. He almost so dark I can't see his ass.
Be
sure to subscribe to Jay Moore. He's in the comments. He will be on our live show tomorrow, along with a very lively panel, and we're going to keep it gully. And also be sure to check the video description link to get those Snowfall gear, 10% off, free shipping. Link is in video description. Larry, we know that this show has been renewed for a season 5. We know it's going to be a season 5, right? And we know that you've got the Arkansas thing in the mix, which makes me think Louis is definitely not dying. We've already had the drama with Louis. She's not going to die this last episode.
Nah, if Louis was going to die, she would have been dead already. When they shot her, she would have been dead already if they were killing her off.
Right. And J Mo is saying no one will die tonight. Okay. Somebody dying, J Mo. Somebody dying.
I can see that. I can see that because oftentimes what they do now, like it used to be that the last episode was the big finale where everything happened.
Right.
What they've been doing more so is the episode before last is sort of like the penultimate episode of the season, and then they spend the last episode sort of wrapping stuff up and transitioning into the next season. So
okay, so what are we gonna do? You've got a war between Alton, it looks like Franklin versus Teddy, and Teddy's a desperate man. Teddy's a desperate man right now.
I can see Alton dying. I can see him dying. I don't know if it's going to be by Teddy's hand or somebody else's, but I can see him dying partly because he didn't leave. He had the opportunity to leave, and he didn't. And so now that he's stuck around, and he's up there tussling with Teddy, I wouldn't be surprised if Alton died. I'm not saying he is, but it wouldn't surprise me.
So at final review and analysis from Larry. It would surprise you if Teddy dies.
It would surprise me if Teddy died. I think if they're like, let's say that if they're gonna do a final season, I don't see how Teddy's not a part of it. They've had him in this entire time. Like if he's gonna get killed, I feel like he's getting killed next year. He's not getting killed this season.
But
I'll tell you what they could do.
You wouldn't be surprised if they take out Rome.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if they took out Unc at all. Now, I'll tell you, this is what they could do that would surprise all of us and break all of our hearts in some level is kill Sissy.
That ain't gonna break my heart.
A lot of people like Sissy. I think she's a gangster like the rest of them. I think she's a gangster just like Franklin and Leon and Unc and all the rest of them. Only difference is she just hasn't got a body on her yet. So
what if she winds up being the one to kill Teddy? There go her body.
That's her. That would definitely be her body. Yes.
And I mean, that's a body to make up too. Killing Teddy is like killing 5 people. That would give her a little bit more street credibility. So,
well, I did say on one of these other episodes, I felt like if anybody was going to be able to kill Teddy, it would be Sissy, because she's the only one I think that could get close to him besides Franklin, where Teddy might have his guard down a little bit. I don't think he would suspect that coming from Sissy, but anybody else, he would not trust it if Jerome came through, or if Leon or anybody else, even Franklin. I think even with Franklin, he'll be on guard a bit. But I think Sissy, he might have his guard down just enough that she could probably double tap him and catch him off guard. But I don't think that's going to happen. But she'd be the only one I think that could do it.
Okay. All right, my people. J-Mo said he going live after the episode. So if you're still wide awake, I've got 90 people watching this. I want to see 90 people go check out my folk J-Mo. Me and Larry are going to move on and talk a little bit.
Likes too?
Yeah, can we get those 90 likes too? Thumbs up, everybody. Be sure to share with us. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the finances for the last 15 minutes, what's going on in the marketplace. So we've got 2 things going on. The real estate market, if you own anything residential, is on fire like it's never been on fire ever in the history of this country. I mean, when I say it's scorching hot, the bitch is supernova hot. That's how hot real estate is. And the stock market, on the other hand, is not hot. It's not cold. It's generally just holding steady. The last 3 weeks, we've seen 2 days of losses in the stock market with 3 consistent days of gain. And I said all that
high gains.
Yeah, record high. So it'll lose like 1% and then bump up 4%. And so I said all that to say, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got some residential property that you want to get rid of, you may not ever see an opportunity to sell it like this. Now, I'm going to show you guys a video of what me and my wife did in 2018. And I took that money and invested heavily in the stock market, and I'm sitting a whole lot better for it. And take a look at the look on my wife's face when I brought home the bacon. You know, all it takes is a little belief in a brother. You know what we're talking about today?
I think so.
I got you a surprise. You want it?
Yeah, give it here.
I brought home the bacon. You can cook it up. We just sold our first commercial property that we bought low, held for 5 years, forced appreciation, got a tenant, and used our exit strategy. And I have brought my wife home a check for over 6 figures. How you feel?
Feel great. How you feel?
I feel like a man.
Good job.
A real man. A man that can deliver. A man that go hard in the fourth.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So for those people out there that think getting into real estate is hard, we got into commercial real estate kind of as a caveat. We really wasn't planning on doing it. It was the backup plan in my business plan. The chick wouldn't let me go on a tangent. So ladies and gentlemen, I said all that to say, when we sold that, I took just about all of it except for 10% and invested into the market. And that grew and helped grow not only my stock portfolio, but my IRA, my Roths, and some other investments that I have. And then we had a whole lot left in savings. And so there's a whole lot of things going on in the stock market. And I've got this video I want you guys to see. And then I will bring home all these moving parts so that you guys can understand how to get that life gain with your finances. So Netflix has been in the news a lot. So let's take a look about what's going on with Netflix.
Is Netflix still a hot stock for Doe clients?
Look, this thing is basically traded sideways for a long period of time. The answer is no. It's fallen out of favor, I think, with younger investors, and I would say with the investing community at whole. I mean, go back to July of 2020. This thing is traded in about $100 range from $480 up to $580. And this move today in after hours, while it's definitely going to be a shock for option traders who basically had the implied move of about 6%, this move in after hours is about double that. That effectively just brings us back down to the bottom of this range. Now, remember, last earnings report, there was enough positive news in there when you talk about not needing to go to the debt markets, being able to go free cash flow positive, as the gentleman mentioned. There was enough positive move in that report from 3 months ago to get the stock to 586, where we closed the day after earnings. And the point is, for 3 months now, with disappointing sub numbers, nothing in the way of stock buybacks here today, or anything in the way of password sharing, which Citigroup has said, even with the churn, could turn up another $6 billion in revenue. I just think, it's not surprising you're seeing the massive reaction to the downside. There's not a lot to get excited about in a market that has already priced in a lot of good news. You got to show up with the goods and then some, it seems like, for this earnings quarter.
Well, that's kind of if I can jump in for a second, that's kind of a refrain. If you follow this stock for any length of time, that has been a familiar refrain, and that hasn't really changed structurally what the company has been able to establish. Volatility is always going to be in play if you talk about Netflix, but you got to look at 4 or 5 years down the road when the company begins to tap into more of the addressable international market. Remember, we're talking about 1.5 billion addressable households in a lot of international markets where the penetration is still well below, what we're seeing in some of the more mature markets. So all in all, I think, we just have to keep our eyes on the prize, stay patient. And as we cycle through this volatility, I do believe that things are going to start to normalize.
Mm-hmm. So, ladies and gentlemen, my big homie J-Mo got a question for me, and I'll explain in a minute. And shout out to Deborah Schuler, who sent the $9.99 super stick. I love that number, $9.99. I love it. I got the money to make it up.
It's like Herman, a memorial of Herman Cain, 999.
So people, if you've got some real estate that you can sell, even if it's your primary residence, and you don't mind going down a little smaller to something like a condo that has very low community fees, and you can turn it into a rental when the market cools down in about 3 years. If somebody is getting ready to offer you what they're trying to offer me and my wife to buy our house, we've getting offers that are $200,000 more than what we paid. You have to take that. I mean, that's life-changing money that you can take and invest in somewhere great in the stock market. I would say ETFs to be on the safe side, and just let it sit there and grow. And let it grow to maybe take a little bit of that money, invest back into some more real estate, and let that grow. And just know that you've got stock income coming in because you also want to invest in some dividend stocks, and you're diversified because you've got some money in savings, and then you've got some more money that you're putting aside for some real estate buys so that you can keep the tax man off your back. And Larry, before I give the floor to you, J-Mo wanted me to explain to people, how did I get initial capital for real estate? And that's an easy one. I live way below my means. And when I say I live below my means, I kept my cars for damn near 15 years. And I took that money that I was saving, I invested slowly into the stock market. I invested into some mutual funds, because mutual funds 15 years ago was actually paying a little more than what they're paying now. And I didn't go out to eat a lot because I was trying to get in shape, so I didn't do that. And my weekends usually was just playing video games at home. Now, I suffered for about 4 years, but I knew what that suffering was doing. Now, while I'm suffering, my bank account wasn't. And so I done that. I wrote a business plan for a child care center. And my exit strategy was always, if I didn't want to run the business of child care, I would sell the property with a tenant in it that's tied up into a 5-year triple net contract. And that's what we did. And that was the escape umbrella that we did. And that's what got the whole ship moving. So if you are someone looking to buy a home right now, keep saving your money. Keep unless it's just desperate, dire need. Maybe you moving from New York to Florida, you have to because of your job. Or you're moving from Texas to California, you have to because of your job. That's different. But if you can wait another 3 years, 2 years at the very least, let this market cool down when the supply can catch back up with the demand. We're having a supply-demand issue right now because of what happened with Corona and because of some issues that was going on with home builders before Corona. So Corona just slowed it down even more. Keep being vigilant, saving your money, stacking more money, and then when the market is a little cooler and you can start pushing around sellers, get back into the market. Rebuttal, Larry.
This market is just insane, man. It's ridiculous. I mean, I talked to Lamont yesterday about this because my wife and I, we've been trying to buy a house, and we had put an offer on a place just over the weekend. And, all offers had to be in on Monday, and we didn't get the place, which was pretty heartbreaking. I mean, it's just like people are bidding, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 over asking, and they're waiving all contingencies and everything else. I mean, it's just like people are just walking in to say, I'll just buy it as is, and here's an extra 50 grand on top of it. It's just it's absolutely ridiculous. And my wife talked to our lender, and he was saying that it reminds him of back in, 2007, 2009, when you had that big real estate balloon that ended up blowing up and caused the whole, mortgage crisis meltdown. And I am very much of the mindset that I am not going to buy a place and be overextended and overpay for something. I'm just not going to do it. It's frustrating because I want us to get a place, but I'm just not going to go out there, and I'm not going to pay, I'm not going to pay $100 for a $10 burger. Just not going to do it.
So. Well, but believe me, man, there are a lot of people who are willing to pay right now because they're getting unbelievably low interest rates. I mean, not only are you getting unbelievably low interest rates, but they're giving you a lot of money. They're giving you more money than what they would normally give you when the interest rates are high. So, people, if you're in position to take advantage of this thing, do so. And if you're someone trying to buy, wait. Because at the end of the day, the whole thing is about you creating a lifestyle where you can take your money, let it make money for you, and then you do the things you want to do in life, whether that's, start a new business, whether that's do a hobby, try to make money with, whether it's YouTube, whether you want to try to do acting, whether you want to start a new career. We want you to be able to do those things and know that you got the financial backing that you have created just by making smart decisions. And so, for my people that's been wanting me to come back and talk a little bit about the finances and the real estate and the stocks, we ain't forgot about you, baby. We still here. We still watching. We still be watching from the background, seeing what's going on. But I mean, Larry, I took from 26 basically to 30, when a lot of young dudes is out here clubbing, buying cars they shouldn't be buying, spending money out to eat every single day, throwing cash at all these women that look good but ain't got nothing good in between their head. I spent those years just playing Madden. Now that's not to say I still won't beating something, because believe me, I was on plenty of fish and I was tearing something up, but I was doing it on the cheap. And I would just tell a chick, like, look, I got goals in 5 years. Some of them would laugh and say, oh, you'll never be able to get into commercial real estate or anything like that. And I'll say, why? It's too hard. It takes a lot of money. Yeah. What leverages, here are two things that leverage the amount of money you need for a commercial property. Number one, having a decent credit score. I didn't say good, I say decent. 90, 680. And you write a decent business plan for real estate. And you've got about, usually they want a little more than 10% down, depending upon where you go. But you can go get a loan for real estate from HUD and put down 10 to 15% on a commercial property. And they got programs for minorities that you can take a look at, and you can get yourself an apartment complex. As a matter of fact, the one area that's not hot in the real estate market is commercial real estate. People that had kitchens, people that had restaurants. And if you are someone who has a creative mind and you want to own something, but you don't want to run the business, go buy you one of those corner blocks that used to be a restaurant. Go and talk to the owner, talk to the real estate and say, you know what? I know the market is bad. I've got X, Y, and Z, and I'm willing to sit on it until the market turns a little bit, and stick you a tenant in there, lock them up in a 5-10 year lease where they pay the taxes, they pay the insurance, and they pay the upkeep on the building. That's called a triple net lease, my people. Step your game up, get them life gains. And that's all I got for y'all tonight, man. Y'all get ready to go watch that Snowfall. Get ready for this panel tomorrow, my people, because J-Mo joining us. We've got another YouTube group joining us. Everyone's favorite Moochie Shy is going to be back. Larry's going to be back. And Nita, the diva, is going to be back. But before you go, again, go check my man out who is pushing all this wonderful Snowfall gear. He's got T-shirts. He's got cups. He's got masks. He's got blankets for your babies, for crying out loud. And he's got a puzzle. And if you use the promo code LifeGames, you get 10% off and it's free shipping. So any closing words, my brother Larry, as we get ready to go and get ready for this last finale of Snowfall?
Yeah, man, I'm going to just continue my nag as I do, which is please put on a face mask and wear it properly. Mask up.
Mask up,
I was telling Lamont just before this show, I was trying to go. It was my night to get something to eat, and I need to do some grocery shopping, so I was going to just order food today. I went to Paisano's Pizza because I was ordered online to go get a calzone and a stromboli. I pull up, and there's like 5-6 people working in there, and only one of them has a face mask on.
Dang.
All the rest of them either have no mask on at all, or they have their mask pulled down underneath their nose or all the way underneath their chin. And so I called them back and said, "Hey, this is Larry. I just called and ordered a stromboli and a calzone." He said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cancel that order." I was like, "I just pulled up, and I was like, there's one person in your store wearing a face mask, and everybody else has their mask down or off." I was like, "I'm just not comfortable with that." He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Blah blah blah. I was like, I don't need you to be sorry. I need you to wear a face mask. That's what I need. I was like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I don't need your apologies. I need you to wear the mask. So people mask up. We're not done with this thing. The variants are out there. The numbers are going back up. If you haven't seen it, I don't know. Maybe CNN doesn't have the ticker on there anymore, but those numbers are going back up. So please wear a face mask and get the vaccine if you're eligible. Well, you are eligible. Everyone's eligible now if you're 16 or older. So, please go get vaccinated.
Right. And I'm going to say this to Z's vision before I get out of here. Hey, brother, I mean, if you know that business, do it. I will tell you this. I have a CDL. I drove for Snyder for about 4 months, and I had an automatic truck. The last time I got into a fight was in Buffalo, New York, with a redneck that thought he was going to push me around, not understanding that I wasn't some young whippersnapper that had to go to trucking school. I was evaluating trucking as a business I thought I might want to do it on my own. And he thought he was going to talk to me any kind of ways he wanted to. And I had to check his ass. And that was my last night driving a truck. And until that next sexy as hell video, we'll see you.
Peace.